ready, Your Honor.
Okay. My name is Brad Gardner, and I'm a judge in this court. I am not here to conduct a trial of your case or to take a plea in your case. I am here to inform you of the charges that have been filed against you, to advise you of certain rights, to set bail on those offenses that I'm authorized to set bail, to schedule a preliminary hearing, and to determine whether you require the assistance of an attorney. You have the right to remain silent and say nothing. But should you give up this right, anything you say during this proceeding may be used against you if your case goes to trial. So please don't discuss the facts of your case. During this and all other proceedings, you have the following rights: the right to the presumption of innocence, the right to indictment by a grand jury for most felonies or by accusation for misdemeanors, the right to a speedy and public trial by jury, the right to see, hear, and question witnesses who are called to testify against you, the right to compel the attendance of witnesses to testify on your behalf, the right to testify on your own behalf or offer evidence in your own defense, the right to have an attorney represent you. If you cannot afford an attorney, one can be appointed to represent you if you qualify. Some of you will be allowed to post unrestricted bonds for your release from jail, and these bonds may be posted by cash, commercial, or property. If you post a cash bond, someone will deliver the full amount of the bond and fees in cash to the sheriff's office. The sheriff's office will hold the cash and return it at the end of the case. If you use a commercial bonding company, someone will have to pay a fee to the company for their service. The fee will not be returned. I don't know what fee will be charged, but it is usually based upon a percentage of the bond. Finally, if you use property to post a bond, the property would need to have a net equity at least 3 times the total amount of the bond. Some of you will have special conditions on your bond that prohibit you from contacting certain people or going to certain places. You will also be prohibited from contacting the victim while you are in jail. If you violate the court's order, your bond will be revoked and you can remain in jail until your trial. You could also receive additional felony charges. It is important to note that if someone is listed as a victim in your case, that person will not be allowed to post your bond. Some of you are charged with offenses for which this court is not authorized by law to set bail. In this event, a bond hearing will be scheduled before a judge of the Superior Court of Clayton County, and you will be informed of that date. If you are currently on active probation, this court is not authorized to set bond at this time. Where the bond is appropriate, in your case, will be reconsidered after your probation officer has had an opportunity to consider this new arrest. The purpose of a preliminary hearing is to determine whether there is sufficient evidence to support the allegations against you. The standard at this stage is very low. A judge determining whether a charge goes forward at this stage only has to determine that it is possible that the crime occurred. Everyone has the ability to waive their right to a preliminary hearing. However, you should speak to a lawyer first if you are unsure about whether it is appropriate to waive your preliminary hearing. If you post bond, your preliminary hearing is automatically waived. You will receive notice at the address you give of your next court date. Finally, I need everyone to raise their right hand. Do you swear or affirm that any statement made during this proceeding will be the truth, the whole truth, so help you God? Okay, let's begin with Ms. Tobin, Mr. Arnold's client.
Thank you, Judge.
Ms. Tobin, you have a lawyer here, Mr. Arnold. Normally, I would address you directly, but because you have a lawyer, I'm going to speak to your lawyer about your charges and your case. Please understand that anything that you say during this proceeding is not private. So don't say anything you don't want the whole world to know. Do you understand that, ma'am?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Mr. Arnold, your client is charged with one count of home invasion in the second degree. I've preliminarily set a $5,000 bond, and I've placed stay away conditions on the bond to stay away from Jaden Munford, Mayanna Munford, and DeJuan Thomas. I've also set a preliminary hearing date for May 26th at 8:30 in the morning, and that hearing date will be waived upon her bonding out. But I'll listen to you, sir. Is there anything that you want to tell me about your client?
Well, just wanted to put on the record, first of all, thank you, Your Honor, for considering a bond in her case. She's 18 years old. She's a great student. She'll be heading to Valdosta State in the fall to study dentistry. We're looking forward to getting these charges behind her, and we're appreciative of the bond this morning.
Okay. So, ma'am, your lawyer will be in contact with you and with your family as it relates to the bond and everything else. If there's nothing else, Mr. Arnold, I will allow you to leave, and Ms. Tobin, you're free to go back.
Judge, is there an estimated time for when the order will be actually filed?
We only have about 31 people on the calendar today, but we do have 2 fugitives. So generally, I'm the person that it causes the delay. So as quickly as I can get through this hearing, the paperwork will get done normally in an hour. So my estimate will be somewhere around between 3 and 5 o'clock today.
Thank you so much, Judge, and may I be excused?
Yes, sir. Have a good day.
All right, have a good one. All right.
Ms. Tobin, you're free to go back.
What's your name?
Let's continue going on the ladies' side with Ms. Arnold.
Oh, you missed Miss Albert, Your Honor. We're gonna do Miss Albert.
Okay.
Miss Albert.
Give me 1 second. It's Albert. I have misplaced your paperwork. Here we go. All right, I'm sorry about that, ma'am. You've been charged with 1 count of improper lane change and 1 count of driving under influence of alcohol to the extent that you were a less safe driver. You're gonna have a total bond set at $5,500. Do you believe you can post that bond, ma'am?
Yes, sir.
You're gonna have a preliminary hearing date set for May 25th at 8:30 in the morning, but that date will get waived upon your bonding out and you'll get a new court date in the mail. Would you like for me to see if you qualify for the appointment of a lawyer?
Yeah, sure, no problem.
Okay. You do qualify, ma'am. I'm going to appoint a lawyer to represent you. Now, if you choose to hire your own lawyer, you're perfectly free to do so. Just make sure you tell the lawyer that's being appointed that you are discharging them and hiring your own lawyer, okay?
Yes, sir.
Do you have any questions of me, ma'am? Okay, you're free to go back.
Your Honor, you can take that message I just sent you.
Okay. Okay, I did notice that on the DCIC. I was wondering about that. Thank you for clearing that up. Okay, is Ms. Arnold next? Uh-oh, did I lose you? Deputy Cox, are you there? Looks like we temporarily lost their feed. Okay, it appears that we've temporarily lost the feed on the lady side. Can we switch over to the male side until they're able to come back on?
Yes, sir.
Up, he's coming back. Are you Miss Arnold?
Yes, sir.
Okay, ma'am, you've been charged with 1 count of theft by taking motor vehicle, being a golf cart. I've set a bond at $5,000 for this. Do you believe you can post that bond, ma'am?
Yes, sir.
You're gonna have a preliminary hearing date that's gonna be set for May 26th at 8:30 in the morning, but that date will get waived upon your bonding out and you'll get a new court date. Would you like for me to see if you qualify for the appointment of a lawyer?
Oh, can you repeat that for me?
I'm sorry?
Can you repeat that for me? I didn't hear you.
Would you like for me to see if you qualify for the appointment of a lawyer?
No, sir.
Okay, you're gonna hire your own lawyer?
Yes, I can.
Okay. If you don't have any questions of me, ma'am, you're free to go back.
All right, thank you so much.
You're welcome.
So, Judge, your name?
Hi, I'm Brittany Crawford.
Okay, Ms. Crawford, you've been charged with 1 count of criminal trespass. There's gonna be a $1,000 bond set on this offense. Do you believe you can post that bond?
Yes, sir.
There's gonna be a stay away provision on this to stay away from John Wells. Do you understand that?
Mm-hmm.
You're gonna have a preliminary hearing date set for May 20th at 8:30 in the morning. It'll get waived when you're bonding out and you'll get a new date in the mail. Would you like me to see if you qualify for the appointment of a lawyer?
Yes, and could you repeat the date for me too?
May 25th at 8:30 in the morning. But that date will get waived and you'll get a new court date in the mail when you bond out.
Okay.
Okay, so you do qualify, ma'am, for a lawyer. I'm going to appoint a lawyer to represent you. Do you have any other questions of me?
You said 1,000?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, that'll be it.
Okay, ma'am, you're free to go back.
All right, have a good day.
You're welcome.
Next is Ms. Johnson.
Ms. Johnson, you've been charged with 1 count of reckless conduct, 1 count of discharging a firearm within 50 yards of a highway, and 1 count of discharging a firearm while under the influence of alcohol. You're gonna have a total bond set at $5,000. Do you believe you can post that bond, ma'am?
No, sir. I could try to call around and see as much as I can get on it.
Do you currently live in Arkansas?
I actually just moved up here, probably like around about February 27th, I believe.
Okay. You're gonna have a preliminary hearing date set for May 25th. All of these charges are misdemeanors. And if you bond out, these charges are this hearing date is gonna get waived and you'll get a new court date in the mail. So make sure that you have a current address for the sheriff's department or a place that you know that you will receive mail so you don't miss your court date.
Yes, sir.
Would you like for me to see if you qualify for the appointment of a lawyer?
Yes, sir, please.
Okay. About how much were you supposed to get paid when you start your new job?
Well, actually, I will be making $15.75 an hour, working Monday through Friday, 10-hour shifts, and I get paid every week. I'm also expecting my tax check, so I'm still waiting on that money.
Okay, I'm gonna find that you qualify, ma'am. I'm going to appoint a lawyer to represent you. Do you have any questions of me?
No, sir.
Okay, ma'am, you're free to go back.
Thank you very much.
You're welcome.
Next is Ms. Lloyd.
Ms. Lloyd, you've been charged with 2 counts of family violence battery and 1 count excuse me, of cruelty to children In the third degree, the allegation being that you allowed a child under 18 to see an act of violence. I have set your total bond at $12,000. Do you believe you can post that bond?
Yes,
I've also placed a stay away provision on the bond to stay away from Tiffany Lloyd and Autumn Benson. Do you understand that?
that's perfectly fine.
You're gonna have a preliminary hearing date set for May 25th at 8:30 in the morning. That date will get waived upon your bonding out and you'll get a new court date in the mail. Do you want me to see if you qualify for the appointment of a lawyer?
Yeah, you can.
Okay, you do qualify, ma'am. I'm going to appoint a lawyer to represent you. Do you have any questions of me?
Can you repeat the bond again, the amount?
The total bond amount is going to be $12,000. It's $5,000 each for the battery and $2,000 for the cruelty to children.
Okay,
All right. Okay, ma'am, you're free to go back.
thank you.
You're welcome.
Next is Miss Leno. Hey, Mr. Stephan, mute your mic over there.
Ms. Leno, ma'am, you've been charged with 1 count of criminal trespass and 1 count of obstructing an officer. I've set a total bond at $5,000. Do you believe you can post that bond, ma'am?
I believe so.
Okay, you're gonna have a preliminary hearing date set for May 25th at 8:30 in the morning, but that date will get waived upon your bonding out and you'll get a new court date in the mail. I've also placed a stay away provision on your bond to stay away from a Darren Powell. Do you understand that?
Yes, sir.
Would you like for me to see if you qualify for the appointment of a lawyer, ma'am?
Yes.
Okay, you do qualify, ma'am. I'm going to appoint a lawyer to represent you. Do you have any questions of me?
I do have a question.
Okay,
So I have some of the funds on my card, but I would have to call my mother to give me the rest of the funds. So how would I go about paying the bond?
so you can contact one of the bonding companies here that are authorized to write bonds and have them to assist your mother in making the financial arrangements. I'm not exactly certain as to if and when you'll get access to a debit card if it's placed in your property, but that's something that you probably can make those arrangements with the bonding company so that once you're bonded out, you can then take the money off the card and give it to either your mother or the bonding company, whomever is basically floating that portion of your bond.
Okay, no problem.
Okay, any other questions, ma'am?
No, sir.
Okay, ma'am, you're free to go back.
Thank you. Have a nice day.
You too.
Next is Miss Mckay.
Okay, you've been charged with 1 count of possession of marijuana less than an ounce. The bond for this offense is automatically set at $1,500. Do you believe you can post that bond, ma'am?
Yes, sir.
You're gonna have a preliminary hearing date set for May 25th at 8:30 in the morning, but that date will get waived upon your bonding out and you'll get a new court date in the mail. Would you like for me to see if you qualify for the appointment of a lawyer?
Yes, sir.
Okay, ma'am, you do qualify. I'm going to appoint a lawyer to represent you. Do you have any questions of me?
No, sir.
Okay, ma'am, you're free to go back.
Thank you. Have a nice day.
You're welcome.
Next is Miss Wright.
Is Miss Pippin OTB?
Yes, sir.
Okay, thank you. Ms. Wright, you're charged with 1 count of reckless conduct. I've set the bond at $3,000. Do you believe you can post that bond?
Yes.
You have a preliminary hearing date set for May 25th at 8:30 in the morning. That date will get waived upon your bonding out and you'll get a new court date in the mail. Would you like for me to see if you qualify for the appointment of a lawyer?
Yes.
Okay, ma'am, I'm gonna find that you do qualify. I'm going to appoint a lawyer to represent you. Do you have any questions for me, ma'am?
No.
Okay, ma'am, you're free to leave.
Thank you. Have a good one.
You're welcome. You too.
Okay, Your Honor, next is the two fugitives.
Okay. That's Miss Flanagan and Miss Jackson.
Yes, sir. And both of y'all come stand right here because we're gonna screen both of y'all at the same time. Slide over.
Okay, would Miss Flanagan raise your hand, please? Okay. Miss Flanagan and Miss Jackson, you are both alleged to be what is called fugitives from justice. And that basically means that there is a warrant for your arrest out of another state. You're not charged with any crimes here in Clayton County. The Sheriff's Department here is simply holding you for those other jurisdictions. Miss Flanagan, the allegation is that there is a warrant for your arrest out of Jefferson County, Alabama, for a vehicular homicide count and a domestic violence assault. And the allegation is that you failed to appear on that warrant. Miss Jackson?
Yes, sir.
The allegation for you is that there is a warrant for your arrest out of Hillsborough County Sheriff's Department in Tampa, Florida, for the charge of burglary. So the both of you have the right to have a hearing on whether you are the person named in the warrant and whether the warrant is valid. If you request to have that hearing sometime within the next 30 days, you will come before a judge of magistrate court. And the only thing that's going to be determined at that hearing is whether you are the person named in the warrant and whether those charges are actually charges. It's not that you're guilty or innocent, but whether they are actually true charges. So the purpose of that hearing is to not determine whether you committed a crime or not. It's just whether you are the person named, you are the proper person named, and whether those warrants exist. At the end of that hearing, if the judge determines that those conditions are met, then the judge will issue a writ, meaning that the judge will say, okay, Alabama can come get Miss Flanagan and Florida can come get Miss Jackson. At the time that the judge signs that writ, each jurisdiction will have up to 60 days to come get you. They get an initial 30-day period and they can request an additional 30-day period if they don't come and get you within that time period. You also have a right to waive that hearing. If you believe that you are Carmisha Latrice Flanagan, and if you believe that you are Shalita Renee Jackson, and you believe that these charges are probably pending down there, you can say, I don't need to have that hearing, I'll waive it. And if you do that, you'll have paperwork to sign today. I'll sign the paperwork, and then that 60-day clock begins to run today. If the Sheriff's Department in Alabama or the Sheriff's Department in Florida, if they don't come and get you at the end of that 60-day period, the Sheriff's Department here will reach out to them and say, hey, are you coming to get this person? And if they don't come and get you, you will get released from here at the end of that 60-day period, but does not dismiss the warrant. So you can get released from here, walk out the front door, 5 minutes later, you interact with another police officer and you're now back in jail because the warrants are still pending. Does that make sense to you, Ms. Flanagan?
Yes, sir.
Do you have any questions about that process, Ms. Flanagan?
No, I was told that Alabama was supposed to come today, so I was trying to figure out if they still coming.
Okay. Ms. Jackson, you understand what I just said?
Yes, I do.
And do you have any questions about that?
I do have a question, maybe
Okay.
a statement. My mom had already called down to Tampa and they gave her a bond for my charges, and she's paid the bond in Florida already. My thing is now, since they already know that I'm here,
are they gonna transfer the bond here so that I can get released from here, or do I still have to be expedited?
No, if they have set a bond on this, then when the sheriff's department here contacts them after this hearing, they most likely will say, hey, you can release her because we've set a bond.
Okay.
But you will be responsible for showing up.
Yes, I spoke with my mom yesterday before I came to general population, and she was saying that she was on the phone with the bonding people, but I wasn't processed here yet, and they couldn't find my information.
Okay, and Ms. Flanagan, I didn't ignore your statement. The sheriff's department will probably have the answer to the question as to whether they're intending to come get you today.
Okay.
Okay, so are you signing the waiver, Ms. Flanagan?
Yes, sir, I am.
And are you signing the waiver, Ms. Jackson?
Yes.
Okay,
Okay,
so
I need to sign it if I already got a bond?
I would honestly do that because once you sign the waiver, the sheriff's department here will contact them
Okay,
and say, hey, she signed a waiver. And they'll probably say, hey, we've set a bond, you can release her.
okay, okay.
Okay, so once the two of you have signed those waivers, you both will be free to go back, and they'll send the waivers to me and I'll sign them today and send it back with your paperwork.
Okay.
Okay, any other questions, Ms. Flanagan?
No, thank you.
Any other questions, Ms. Jackson?
No, sir, thank you.
You're welcome.
Okay, Your Honor, if you allow me at least 5 minutes, and I'll get back with you on the mail side.
Okay.
Okay.
How are you, Ms. Tolles?
Good morning, Your Honor. I'm well, thank you. How are you doing?
I'm doing well. You have perfect timing as always. We just finished with the female side, and so I'm, excuse me, I'm waiting on Deputy Cox to come back over to the male side. The person that we need your services for today, his name is looks like Roberto Funuciado Lopez Vale.
Okay, sounds good.
And looks like on the bond order, it's just listed Lopez is the last name that they're using. And he's charged with expired license and no driving a vehicle with no license.
All right.
Mr. Lopez Vale, can you see and understand the interpreter?
Señor López Valle, ¿puede usted ver y entender a la intérprete? Let me see if he can hear me, Your Honor. Señor López Valle, ¿me puede oír?
Sí.
Ok. Yo soy su intérprete. ¿Puede usted oírme y entenderme bien?
Sí.
Yes. Yes, Your Honor.
Okay. Sir, this is your first appearance hearing before the Magistrate Court of Clayton County.
Señor, esta es su comparecencia inicial aquí en la sala menor del Tribunal de Primera Instancias del Condado de Clayton.
My name is Brad Gardner, and I'm a judge in this court.
Yo soy el licenciado Brad Gardner, un juez en este tribunal.
I'm not here to conduct a trial of your case or to take a plea in your case.
Yo no estoy aquí para llevar a cabo un juicio en su caso, tampoco para que usted dé una declaración a las acusaciones.
I am here to inform you of the charges that have been filed against you,
Estoy acá para informarle de las acusaciones formuladas en su contra,
to advise you of certain rights,
para informarle de ciertos derechos,
to set bail on those offenses that I'm authorized to set bail,
para imponerle fianza para las acusaciones las cuales tengo la autorización de imponerle fianza,
to schedule a preliminary hearing, and to determine whether you require the assistance of an attorney.
para programar su audiencia preliminar y también, Señor, para determinar si usted requiere el asesoramiento de un abogado.
You have the right to remain silent and say nothing, but should you give up this right, anything you say could be used against you.
Tiene el derecho a permanecer callado sin decir nada, pero si usted elige renunciar a ese derecho, cualquier cosa que diga se puede usar en su contra.
So please don't discuss the facts of your case.
Así que por favor le pido no hable de los hechos del caso.
During this and all other proceedings, you have the following rights.
Durante esta audiencia y cualquier diligencia posterior, tendrá usted los siguientes derechos.
The right to the presumption of innocence.
El derecho a ser presunto inocente.
The right to an indictment by a grand jury for most felonies or by accusation for misdemeanors.
El derecho a que se le admite una acusación formal cuando se trata de delitos graves o que proceden en su contra con una acusación general cuando se trata de infracciones menores.
The right to a speedy and public trial by jury.
El derecho a un juicio público y sin demora ante un jurado.
The right to see, hear, and question witnesses who are called to testify against you.
El derecho a ver, escuchar y contrainterrogar los testigos convocados a declarar en su contra.
The right to compel the attendance of witnesses to testify on your behalf.
El derecho de obligar la presencia de testigos para que declaren a su favor.
The right to testify on your own behalf or offer evidence in your own defense.
El derecho de dar testimonio o presentar pruebas, en su propia defensa.
Right to have an attorney represent you.
El derecho a un abogado que lo representa.
If you cannot afford an attorney, one can be appointed to represent you if you qualify.
Si usted no puede costear el servicio de un abogado, se le puede nombrar uno si usted cumple los requisitos.
In this instance, you've been charged with one count of driving a vehicle with an expired license plate.
En este caso, se le han acusado de una infracción de conducir un vehículo con una placa vencida.
And driving a vehicle without a license.
Y también manejar el vehículo sin una licencia para conducir.
You're going to have a total bond set at $1,500.
Su fianza total será $1,500.
You can post that bond by paying the entire amount in cash to the sheriff's department, who will hold it until your case is over.
Usted podría pagar esa fianza si deposita la cantidad entera a la oficina del comisario de sheriff, que guardará el dinero hasta que el caso se termine.
The sheriff's department will then return that money to you when your case is over.
Luego, una vez concluido su caso, el departamento del sheriff devolverá el dinero que usted pagó.
Or you can use a bonding company.
O usted puede utilizar una compañía de fianzas.
You will have to pay a fee to that company, and that fee will not be returned to you.
Tendría que usted pagar una tarifa a esa compañía de fianzas y esa tarifa no se le devuelve.
I don't know what the fee will be, but it's normally based upon a percentage of the bond.
No sé exactamente cuánto sería la tarifa, señor, pero normalmente se basa en un porcentaje de lo que es la fianza.
You can call each of the bonding companies authorized to write bonds in this county, and they will tell you the fee that they will charge.
Usted podría llamar a cada una de las compañías de fianzas que tienen la autorización de emitir fianzas en este condado y ellos le pueden informar de la tarifa que cobran.
You can also use property to post a bond.
También podría utilizar propiedad o un inmueble para garantizar su fianza.
The property will need to have a value at least 3 times the bond amount.
Esa propiedad tendrá que contar con un valor de por lo menos 3 veces el valor de la fianza.
You're going to have a preliminary hearing date set for May 25th at 8:30 in the morning.
Su audiencia preliminar, señor, se señala para el 25 de mayo a las 8:30 de la mañana.
That hearing date will be automatically waived upon your bonding out.
Una vez que usted ha depositado fianza para salir, esta audiencia preliminar quedará renunciada automáticamente.
You will receive a new court date in the mail.
Y recibirá usted por correo la notificación de su próxima corte.
You have the right to waive your preliminary hearing.
Usted tiene derecho a renunciar la audiencia preliminar.
But if you are unsure about whether you should waive the preliminary hearing, you should speak to a lawyer first.
Pero si no está seguro si debería renunciar a la audiencia preliminar o no, debería consultar primero con un abogado.
Would you like for me to see if you qualify for the appointment of a lawyer?
Quisiera, señor, que yo determine si usted cumple requisitos para que le nombre un abogado. Your Honor, the interpreter did not hear an audible response. May I ask him to repeat?
Yes, would you give an audible response, yes or no?
Señor, perdón, yo no escuché su respuesta. ¿Puede hablar en voz alta, sí o no?
No.
No.
You're going to represent yourself or you're going to hire your own lawyer?
Entonces, ¿usted piensa seguir en representación propia o contratar a su propio abogado?
Contratar un propio abogado.
I will hire my own attorney.
Okay.
Está bien.
Do you have any questions of me, Mr. Lopez?
Señor, ¿tiene usted alguna pregunta para mí, señor López?
No.
No.
Okay, sir, you're free to go back.
Muy bien, señor, ya se puede retirar. Gracias. Thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Tolles. That was the only person that we needed today. You have a good day.
Thank you, Your Honor. You do the same. Take care.
Okay.
Your name.
Have your name, sir?
And there,
Okay, Mr. Barrett, you've been charged with 1 count of criminal damage to property in the 2nd degree. I've set the bond at $5,000 for that. Do you believe you can post this bond, sir? I'm sorry, did you say yes?
no, sir.
Okay. You're gonna have a preliminary hearing date set for May 26th at 8:30 in the morning. And that hearing will be waived if you're able to bond yourself out. If not, then you will have that hearing. This is a felony charge that you've been charged with. Would you like for me to see if you qualify for the appointment of a lawyer?
Sir.
Now, you do qualify, Mr. Barrett. I'm going to appoint a lawyer to represent you. If you are unable to bond out, you should speak to your lawyer about trying to work with the district attorney's office to do something about your case so you're not just sitting here, okay?
Sir.
Do you have any questions of me?
Sir.
Okay, you're free to go back.
Bishop. Please state your name. Go back here.
Mr. Bishop?
Yes, sir.
Sir, you've been charged with 1 count of battery. The bond is going to be set at $5,000. Do you believe you can post that bond? I'm sorry, sir?
Yes.
Did you say yes?
Yeah, yes.
Okay. There's going to be a stay away provision on the bond to stay away from Tadarius Smiles. Do you understand that?
Sir.
And Mr. Smiles is going to also have a stay away provision to stay away from you. Would you like for me to see if you qualify for the appointment of a lawyer?
Yes, sir.
Okay, you do qualify, sir. I'm going to appoint a lawyer to represent you. Do you have any questions of me?
No, sir.
Okay, you're free to go back.
Name. State your name. Say your name.
Clay, how you doing, Your Honor?
Good morning, Mr. Clay. You're charged with 1 count of identity fraud and 1 count of neglect to an elder person. You're gonna have a total bond set at $10,000. Do you believe you can post that bond?
Yes, Your Honor.
There's also gonna be a stay away provision on this bond to stay away from Stanley Short. Do you understand that?
Yes, Your Honor.
These are felony offenses, so you're gonna have a preliminary hearing date set for May 26th at 8:30 in the morning. That date will get waived upon your bonding out and you'll get a new court date in the mail. Do you want me to see if you qualify for the appointment of a lawyer?
I have my own attorney.
Okay. Do you have any questions of me, Mr. Clay?
Yes, Your Honor. I'm in the middle of a move to another residence in Atlanta. How do I go about making sure I receive my court date?
Make sure you put a change of address notification with the postal service so that they will forward your mail to the new address. Also, communicate with your lawyer about your address so that the lawyer can make sure that you have the appropriate address or the appropriate address is in the system. And as soon as possible, have your lawyer communicate your new address to the district attorney's office.
Okay.
Okay, any other questions, sir?
Thank you, Your Honor.
Okay, you're free to go back.
Mr. Coachman. Make sure you state your name. With that, your honor. Say your name.
Antonio Coach.
Mr. Coachman, you're charged with one count of giving a false name, address, or date of birth, and one count of driving on a suspended license. You're gonna have a total bond set at $3,500. Do you believe you can post that bond, sir?
Yes, sir.
You're gonna have a preliminary hearing date set for May 25th at 8:30 in the morning. That date will get waived upon your bonding out and you'll get a new court date in the mail. Would you like me to see if you qualify for the appointment of a lawyer?
No.
Okay, you're gonna hire your own lawyer?
Yes.
Okay, do you have any questions of me, Mr. Coachman?
And I had another case. They told me I had another bond. It was a driving case. They said I didn't come to court. I was just trying to make sure it was in the computer before I could make the whole bond.
You had a failure to appear?
Yes.
Okay, so if the sheriff's department told you that you have a failure to appear, I would bank on that.
Forrest Park came, he brought me, he said I had a bond for it last night. A Forrest Park officer, because it was in Forrest Park, Georgia.
Okay, so sometimes what a city government will do, if there's a failure to appear, they'll issue a warrant for that person's arrest, but they'll automatically put a bond on it. So all you have to do is pay that bond to Forest Park.
Okay, you said I had a bond. I was just trying to.
Okay,
Thank you, sir.
you're welcome. You're free to go back, sir.
Make sure you say your name. Don't want you.
Quentin Dukes.
Give me 1 second, Mr. Dukes. Okay, Mr. Dukes, you're charged with one count of a window tint violation and one count of violation Georgia, excuse me, Georgia Controlled Substance Act. You're gonna have a total bond set at $5,500. Do you believe you can post that bond? You're gonna have a preliminary hearing date set for May 26th at 8:30 in the morning. That date will get waived upon your bonding out and you'll get a new court date in the mail. Would you like for me to see if you qualify for the appointment of a lawyer? You're gonna hire your own lawyer? Okay. If you don't have any questions of me, Mr. Dukes, you're free to go back. I'm sorry, there was some crosstalk. I couldn't understand you. Yes, you've been charged with basically possessing more than an ounce of marijuana.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Any other questions, sir?
Yes, sir.
Okay, you're free to go back.
Yeah, again. That again?
That's a female.
Oh. Fox, Mr. Fox.
He's going, no, you're right there. Fox.
Ronald Fox, good morning, man.
Good morning. Huh. Hold on one second, Mr. Fox. Just got your, I just got your card, but your form where you were requesting an attorney, but I don't have your warrant.
Yeah, Your Honor, he posted bail, he posted bond yesterday. He just had to wait to talk to South Fulton in order to get released.
They just gave me this.
Okay. Hold on, let me look. So, and I'm sorry, Mr. Fox, that I don't remember. Did you appear before me yesterday?
You come again, Your Honor?
No.
Did you appear before me yesterday?
No, sir.
Okay. Let me see. I had to find your warrants and your paperwork.
Tuesday. He came in Tuesday, Your Honor. His bond was posted, but he I guess he had to hold by South Fulton. So he had to wait to speak to South Fulton, and South Fulton just spoke with him before first appearance started on today. So that's why he hasn't been before you yet.
Okay. So, but if I don't have his paperwork, I can't. It sounds like you're saying that he was already that his bond was set by schedule, that it was already set.
Yes, sir.
Did you already post your bond, Mr. Fox?
Yes, sir. I had got bonded out yesterday, but I had to talk with South Fulton because they said I got a warrant or something.
Okay, so if you've already bonded out, then I don't need to see you before me. But since you are before me, do you want me to see if you qualify for the appointment of a lawyer?
Yes.
Okay. All right, you do qualify, Mr. Fox. I'm going to make a notation. Because I have no idea what you're charged with, but if you're already bonded out, that's not really my concern, but I will appoint a lawyer to represent you, and I'll find your information that's in the system. Okay, do you have any questions of me, Mr. Fox, about what's going to happen next?
Yes.
Okay, what's your question?
Oh, the charge I had got from here, it was a weed charge, less than an ounce.
Okay, so that's automatically bondable at $1,500.
Mm-hmm. And it got set yesterday, but they said I couldn't leave till I talked with them, and they had made me sign a paper. They was like, I'm supposed to be leaving today.
Okay.
And they gave me a court date for that.
Okay. So what I'm gonna do, Mr. Fox, when this is over, I'm just gonna make sure that I verify that all of that information is entered so that you can leave. Okay, anything else, sir? Okay, you're free to go back.
Again.
How you doing, Your Honor? My name is Flora Game.
Good morning, sir. You're charged with 1 count of trafficking in marijuana.
Yes, sir.
I'm gonna set a bond in this case, Mr. Gaiman. I was really close to not setting a bond because of your criminal history.
Yes, sir.
I'm gonna set the bond at $15,000. Do you believe you can post that bond?
Yes, sir.
You're gonna have a preliminary hearing date set for May 26th at 8:30 in the morning. That date will get waived upon your bonding out. Do you want me to see if you qualify for the appointment of a lawyer?
No, I have one, Your Honor.
Okay, do you have any questions for me, sir?
No, sir. So all I gotta do is call a bonding agency and I bond out, right? With the
Yes,
50?
sir.
Yeah, that's all.
Okay, you're free to go back.
Thank you, Your Honor.
You're welcome.
Well, state your name. State your name, Mr. Brown. John Draft.
Okay, Mr. Graff, sir, you've been charged with failure to stop at a flashing light, two drug-related offenses and one possession of a weapon during the commission of a crime. And I believe I saw that you have holes on you out of City of Atlanta, Tennessee, and Athens.
Yes.
So I'm gonna set bond on these offenses. You're gonna have a total bond set at $17,000. Do you believe you can post that bond?
Good. Yes.
And you understand that with those holes pending, that you're probably gonna get transferred to those other jurisdictions.
Yes.
Do you have, well, would you like for me to see if you qualify for the appointment of a lawyer?
For these charges here,
Yes, sir.
what were the charges again? I was coming back.
Basically possession of heroin, improper stop, possession of a firearm with drugs, possession of drug-related objects. They're saying that there was a device used to ingest the heroin. And what is the other drug charge? And there were pills that they believe to be ecstasy. So those are the charges.
Okay.
So do you want me to see if you qualify for the appointment of a lawyer?
Sure.
Okay, you do qualify. I'm going to appoint a lawyer to represent you. You're going to have a preliminary hearing date set here for May 26th at 8:30 in the morning. That date will get waived upon your bonding out of this jail, and you'll get a new court date in the mail. Do you have any questions of me?
No.
Okay, sir, you're free to go back.
Mr. Harris. State your name.
Mr. Harris.
Mr. Harris, sir, you're charged with one count of aggravated assault and one count of battery. You don't have any priors, so I'm going to set a bond on the aggravated assault charge. You're going to have a total bond for the aggravated assault and the battery set at $20,000. Do you believe you can post that bond?
Yes.
Okay, there's going to be a stay away provision on this bond to stay away from a Skyteria Williams. Do you understand that? Your preliminary hearing date is going to be set for May 26th at 8:30 in the morning because the aggravated assault charge is a felony offense. Upon posting bond, that date will get waived and you'll get a new court date in the mail. Would you like for me to see if you qualify for the appointment of a lawyer? Okay, you do qualify, sir. I'm going to appoint a lawyer to represent you. Do you have any questions of me?
How would these charges get dropped?
That's going to be something more directed towards your lawyer.
How would that work?
Well, you speak to your lawyer about the facts of your case, and the lawyer will speak to you about how to defend yourself.
All right.
Okay. Any other questions, sir? Okay, you're free to go back. Mr. Horton, you're charged with 1 count of driving under the influence of alcohol, 1 count of violation of Georgia Controlled Substance Act, 1 count of improper lane change, 1 count of failure to report an accident, and 1 count of use or possession of drug-related objects. You're gonna have a total bond set at $12,500. Do you believe you can post that bond, sir?
Yes, sir. The driving under the influence, they took blood when I came in, and I know for a fact that when it comes back, it's gonna say that I was under the influence of alcohol.
Okay, so right now, these are just allegations. The state's gonna have to prove each and every one of these charges beyond a reasonable doubt. Okay? You're gonna have a preliminary hearing date set for May 26th at 8:30 in the morning. That date will get waived upon your bonding out, and you'll get a new court date in the mail. Would you like for me to see if you qualify for the appointment of a lawyer?
Yes.
Okay. I can't read your handwriting. Approximately how much do you make per month?
I just started a job at Walmart like last week.
Okay, how much were you gonna get paid per hour?
$14.50.
Okay, you do qualify, sir. I'm going to appoint a lawyer to represent you. Do you have any questions of me?
No, sir.
Okay, you're free to go back.
Sean Hudson.
Hey, Mr. Hunter, you're charged with 3 driving-related offenses: concealing an ID, identification of a motor vehicle, driving with no insurance, and driving on a suspended license. You're gonna have a total bond set at $3,000. Do you believe you can post that bond?
Yes, sir.
You're gonna have a preliminary hearing date set for May 25th at 8:30 in the morning. That date will get waived upon your bonding out, and you'll get a new court date in the mail. Would you like me to see if you qualify for the appointment of a lawyer?
Yes.
Okay. How much do you earn per month?
$2,000.
Okay, you do qualify, sir. I'm going to appoint a lawyer to represent you. Do you have any questions of me?
No, sir.
Okay, you're free to go back.
How you doing, sir? Jonathan G. DeGore.
I'm doing well. Sir, you've been charged with 1 count of possession of less than an ounce of marijuana, 1 count of identity fraud, 1 count of transaction card fraud, and 1 count of possession of a weapon during the commission of a crime. You're gonna have a total bond set at $16,500. Do you believe you can post that bond?
Sir, may I say something?
Yes, sir. Give me 1 second. You're gonna have a preliminary hearing date set for May 26th at 8:30 in the morning. That date will get waived upon your bonding out. And would you like for me to see if you qualify for the appointment of a lawyer?
I have a lawyer.
Okay. So what is it that you want to tell me, Mr. Jeter?
What I was gonna say was that car and the stuff that he found, that was for my friend who was at my house, and he told me to bring it back over there to him, and he was at my house, but he's spent night and stuff. So I don't see how he can say I tried to use the car for a transaction or anything, because there would be nothing that shows that car that I used it or I use anything with identity. You know what I'm saying?
I did notice that in the warrant. You should speak to your lawyer about that, and your lawyer should speak to the person that owns the card, because if you were in lawful possession of the card, those charges will go away.
Okay, that sounds fine.
Any other questions?
And about the gun charge, that wasn't part of my possession either. That was in the car. You know, I'll take it on with my lawyer as well.
Yes, sir. Okay, you're free to go back, Mr. Jeter. You're welcome.
Next is Mr. DeGore. Come on.
Yeah, he's tapping me up.
Okay, sir, you've been charged with 1 count of public drunkenness. The bond for this is automatically set at $1,000. Do you believe you can post that bond? Okay. Would you like for me to see if you qualify for the appointment of a lawyer?
I don't think I need a lawyer for it.
I'm sorry, sir.
What was the charge?
Public drunkenness,
Because $1,000?
$1,000, yes.
I'm probably drunk because I was unemployed, so how am I supposed to end up with $1,000?
I'm sorry, could you speak a little bit louder, sir?
I don't have $1,000. I don't have everything for it. I'm unemployed.
Did you say you're unemployed?
Yeah.
Okay, would you like for me to see if you qualify for the appointment of a lawyer? Would you like a lawyer?
I don't think, what would I need a lawyer for?
So if you don't want a lawyer, you can say no, sir, and I won't appoint a lawyer to you.
I don't think I need a lawyer.
Okay, you're gonna represent yourself?
Yeah.
Okay, you're gonna have a preliminary hearing date set for May 25th at 8:30 in the morning. That date will get waived upon your bonding out and you'll get a new court date in the mail. Would you like for me to, well, do you have any other questions of me?
I don't know.
Okay, you're free to go back, sir.
Thank you, Mr. Starr.
Federico Starr.
Okay, Mr. Starr, you've been charged with 1 count of family violence battery. The bond is set at $5,000. Do you believe you can post that bond?
Yes, sir, I can.
There's going to be a stay away provision on this bond to stay away from a Mckay dare. Do you understand that?
Yes, sir, I do.
Give me 1 second, I'm sorry. There's a preliminary hearing date set for May 25th. That date will get waived upon your bonding out and you'll get a new court date in the mail. Would you like for me to see if you qualify for the appointment of a lawyer?
Yes, sir.
You do qualify, Mr. Starr. I'm going to appoint a lawyer to represent you. Do you have any questions of me?
No, sir. Just thank you, sir.
Okay, you're free to go back.
Next is Mr. Scott.
Mr. Scott, you're charged with 1 count of trafficking in marijuana. I've set the bond at $15,000. Do you believe you can post that bond? I'm sorry?
Yes, sir.
Your preliminary hearing date is going to be set for May 26th at 8:30 in the morning. That date will get waived upon your bonding out and you'll get a new court date in the mail. Would you like for me to see if you qualify for the appointment of a lawyer?
No, sir.
You're going to hire your own lawyer? Okay, do you have any questions of me, sir?
No, sir.
Okay, you're free to go back.
Next is Mr. Smile.
Tadarius Smile.
Okay, sir, you've been charged with 1 count of battery. I've set the bond at $5,000. Do you believe you can post that bond? You're going to have a stay away provision on this bond to stay away from Darius Bishop. Do you understand that? Your preliminary hearing date is going to be set for May 25th at 8:30 in the morning. The date will get waived upon your bonding out. Would you like for me to see if you qualify for the appointment of a lawyer? I'm sorry?
Yes, sir.
You do qualify. I'm going to appoint a lawyer to represent you. Do you have any questions of me?
Just like, is that like the lowest the bond can be?
For battery, I start the bonds at $5,000. Any other questions? Okay, you're free to go back.
Next is Mr. Sweeney.
Good morning, Armando Sweeney.
Mr. Sweeney, you've been charged with 1 count of false imprisonment and 1 count of possession of marijuana less than an ounce. I've set a total bond at $4,500. Do you believe you can post that bond? I've also placed a stay away provision on this bond to stay away from Kimberly Jackson. Do you understand that? Your preliminary hearing date is going to be set for May 26th at 8:30 in the morning, but that date will get waived upon your bonding out and you'll get a new court date in the mail. Would you like for me to see if you qualify for the appointment of a lawyer?
No, sir. I have my own lawyer, and you said 4,500.
Yes, sir.
When will the bonding company be able to see this?
It will be today. I do the paperwork. And so when I'm done with the hearings, I get all the paperwork together and I send it back to the sheriff's department and they start inputting it into the system. So you should be able to get that information about 3 or 4 o'clock.
Okay. So that's when I tell my people to go to the bonding company.
Yes, you've been told the bond amount now. You can contact the bonding company and they'll just be waiting until it posts on their system.
Okay, so my total bond is 4,500 with the 2 charges?
Yes, sir. It'll be a little bit higher because the sheriff's department is required to add fees, and I don't know what those fees are, so it'll be a little bit higher than 4,500. Okay. Any other questions, sir?
No, that's it.
Okay, you're free to go back.
Next is Mr. Thompson. Thomas, I'm sorry, sir. Mr. Thomas. Gardner, how you doing?
I'm doing fine. You are Mr. Thomason?
Yes, sir.
Okay, sir, you've been charged with 1 count of theft by taking. I've set the bond at $5,000. Do you believe you can post that bond?
Yes, sir.
This is a felony offense that you're being charged with. So your preliminary hearing date is going to be set for May 26th at 8:30 in the morning. That date will get waived upon your bonding out and you'll get a new court date in the mail. Would you like for me to see if you qualify for the appointment of a lawyer?
Yes, sir.
Okay, you do qualify. I'm going to appoint a lawyer to represent you. Do you have any questions of me?
No, sir.
Okay, you're free to go back.
Next is London.
How you doing, Your Honor? My name is Maya London.
All right. I'm going to call you Miss London. Is that okay? Okay. You've been charged with 1 count of battery, 1 count of aggravated assault, and 1 count of violation of Georgia Controlled Substance Act. I've placed the total bond at $30,000. Do you believe you can post that bond?
If I go to a bond,
Yes, ma'am, you can. There's also going to be a stay away provision on this bond to stay away from Donovan Lowe. Do you understand that? I don't have your form. I may have misplaced it.
You know, if you could check your email, I had emailed you it last, so you should receive the fugitive forms, also the two CAA forms.
Okay. Let's see. I haven't gotten it yet. Are you currently employed?
I am, sir.
About how much do you make per hour or per month?
$15.50 a month, a little under 3,000.
Okay, you qualify. I'm going to appoint a lawyer to represent you. And just Deputy Cox, make sure you check. And once I get the form, I'll just fill it all out. Do you have any questions of me? It's going to be 30,000. It's 5,000 for the battery, 20,000 for the aggravated assault, and 5,000 for the possession of felony amount of marijuana. Yes. Yes. Tell them your bond amount and your charges, and they'll tell you what fee they'll charge you. Yes. Any other questions?
That's all, thank you.
Okay, you're free to go back.
Next is Mr. Little. I also have Mr. Little's CAA form right here, Your Honor.
Okay.
So after we're finished, I'll make sure you get Ms. London, as well as Little T.
Okay. Mr. Little, you're charged with 1 count of aggravated assault and 1 count of criminal damage to property in the 2nd degree. These are both felony offenses. I've set the total bond at $15,000. Do you believe you can post that bond?
At this moment, no, I cannot.
Okay. There's going to be a stay away provision on the bond to stay away from Nathaniel Sims. Do you understand that?
Yes, sir.
Your preliminary hearing date is going to be set for May 26th at 8:30 in the morning. That date will get waived upon your bonding out and you'll get a new court date in the mail. Would you like for me to see if you qualify for the appointment of a lawyer?
Sure, Your Honor.
Are you currently working?
No, I'm not, Your Honor.
Okay. So you do qualify. So I'm going to appoint a lawyer to represent you. And when I get the form, I'll just fill it out and then you'll hear from the lawyer soon. Okay, any questions?
Yes, Your Honor. Your Honor, I'm a disabled veteran, right? And
I'm sorry, say that again.
I'm a disabled veteran, right?
Okay.
And my condition is PTSD. I served 2 months in Iraq and 6 months in Kuwait. My condition is PTSD, manic depression, and a racing mind, right? I did not go near this gentleman that came to my house. I mean, he came to my house. He called my wife, he had fixed my car, he called my wife twice and asked her, did I have the money, for the rest of the money for my pay half of it, right? And she told him twice, no, I did not have it. Now, he came to my house anyway, after she told him twice, and he came to my house anyway, right? He forcibly wanted me to give him some money that I didn't have. I was sick when he came to my house, right? So me and him got into an argument. He went back to his car and got a weapon, right? I didn't know what it was behind his hand. I was standing in my doorway, right? So he was on my property. So I went and I picked up the first thing I could get, and that was.
Sir. Don't tell the facts.
Excuse me, I'm talking to the judge.
Mr. Little, hold on 1 second, sir. Let me cut you off for a second. All of this stuff is being recorded, so you shouldn't discuss the facts of your case. I'm going to reduce the bond on the aggravated assault to $5,000 because I did notice that there was it's technically can be charged, but you know, it's on the line. So I will reduce the bond. So you're going to have a total bond of $10,000. 1, 2, you need to contact the bonding companies that are authorized to write bonds here in this county because they will work with you. They'll put you on a payment plan. They will work with you. Third, the chief judge, I'm sorry, not the chief judge, Judge Mack of Superior Court is starting a veterans court. Is that something that you believe that you would be interested in? It could help you with your charges.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir, Honor, as long as it doesn't extend my stay here too long.
No, it has nothing to do with your stay. It has everything to do with helping veterans.
Yes, sir, Honor.
So that, you know, they're putting the program together. And my understanding is that if you do everything that you're supposed to do in the program, that these charges will most likely be dismissed.
Thank you, Your Honor. I appreciate that.
Okay, so I'll refer you over to him today, and you will receive some information from them as they're putting this program together. Any other questions?
Yes. Your Honor, when I was arrested, I was unable to get my telephone. I was at my house. The officer would not let me get my telephone. Now, I just turned 57 2 days ago. I barely know how to work with it, unless to know the numbers that's in it, right? Only number that I know is my own, right? Because, you know, that's how I know my number. That's the only number. So I don't have any ways of contacting the outside people, or actually, I don't even know how to contact the people to help me get out.
Okay, so you're going to get a list of the bonding companies that are authorized to write bonds here in this county. Call them, tell them your charges, tell them your bond amount, tell them your circumstance. They will work with you. Also, I believe 411 still works. So you can, if you know the person that you're trying to reach, you can use that to try to reach them, okay?
411?
Yes, sir.
You could dial those from these phones here?
My understanding is that as long as you're not a person that's causing a problem within the sheriff's department, that they will work with you. If you're going to work with them, they'll work with you. So if you just explain your situation nicely, you may get someone that will assist you. I can't promise you that that's going to happen, but I know that I've seen it happen in the past.
Okay, what does 411 do? I'm not sure what that does.
Information.
Information would tell me what?
So you want the telephone number for Brad Gardner that lives in Forest Park. You dial 411. Can I get the number for Brad Gardner that lives in Forest Park? Yes, this is the number for Brad Gardner that lives in Forest Park.
That's not a house number, that's a cell number.
So, Mr. Little, I do not work for the phone company. I do not work for, anybody that's making this. I'm trying to give you options for you to consider. The number one thing to do is contact a bonding company because they have a financial interest in getting you out of jail, right?
Okay, sir.
All right. Any other questions?
That it is, sir. I appreciate your help very much. Thank you.
Okay. Have a good day, Mr. Little.
I'm sure we heard on.
So you just come to the officer, you just tell the judge that that's it. The judge just tells something, thank you, that's it, y'all.
Hello, sir.
We don't have Mr. Caldwell.
No, sir. Mr. Caldwell.
He was the one that had the seizure yesterday.
Do you have his LE number?
Yes, his LE number is 201-8952. He was the one that was having the seizures at the beginning, and I continued him over to today.
Yeah, let me go. I'm gonna go look up my CPU right now, y'all.
Okay, thank you.
Your Honor.
Yes.
And you advised that the LE number was 2018592.
8952.
8952. Okay. I believe you got moved to a different housing unit. Give me if you allow me.
Okay. Okay.
Your Honor, here goes Michael Caldwell. First name Mckay. Malik, yeah.
Mr. Caldwell?
Yes, sir.
Sir, can you understand me?
Yes, sir.
Okay, I understand that you had a seizure yesterday.
Yes, sir.
Are you feeling better today?
Not really.
Okay, well, I've set bond on these offenses, and it's going to be a total bond of $10,000. Do you believe you can post that bond? I'm sorry?
Yes, sir.
You're going to have a preliminary hearing date that's going to be set for May 26th at 8:30 in the morning, but that date will get waived upon your bonding out.
Okay.
Would you like for me to see if you qualify for the appointment of a lawyer?
Yes, sir.
Okay, you do qualify. I'm going to appoint a lawyer to represent you. Do you have any questions of me?
No, sir.
Okay, you're free to go back, Mr. Caldwell. I hope you feel better.
Okay, Your Honor, that should complete today.
Okay, thank you for your patience and your assistance. Have a good day.
Yes, Your Honor. This is Deputy Stephen.
Uh-huh.
This is Deputy Stephen.
How
And
you doing, Deputy Stephen?
I want to thank you because today was my first time doing this by myself. So Mr. Cox be training me. So I want to thank you for your patience.
No problem. And look, we all make mistakes. I make mistakes every day. But I just think if we all try to work together, we can get this stuff done.
Yes, sir. Thank you.